say. Let me hear you 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 say. As I double down on this staircase, I'ma protect what's mine like a home base. In that case, I'm the little engine that could, waiting on 53rd Street, cause urban legends are good, and that's the big scoop. Nothing fabricated. If you're gonna get Marty, then freeze frame the visual data. Running into cool jerks like Frankie G, you will face the music more than Sewer King, cause timing is everything. Helget with the stopwatch for a fight. It's not a secret when Gerald when he rides a bike. I'm the bold kid that you want to avoid. I make them say the whole thing, Rhonda Wellington Lloyd, cause I was born to be a geek with a glass of knot. Stay clear of Wittenberg, Tucker out in the spot. So, and you'll be fine. The bullies in due time can catch a dangerous lumber from all of these Mickey K lines. Let me hear you say. 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 I'm a product of my environment. From Jolly Ollie to the Pigeon Man. Pin game special coming straight out of Wanky Land. Better call Simmons for my true crown. I've been on my Robbie Fisher the way I be making moves now. I handle beef like I'm Marty Green, so Susan can keep the money by any means. Yeah, she worked for it, her role don't need an Oscar. If you read too deep, you an imposter like Madam Blanche. By any chance you encounter any laughing lady, I can see how the headless cabbie would be going crazy. Yahoo, so the proof's in the lemon pudding, but turning down $1 million is kinda off-putting. It's just business, Torvo when you do the math. I see more stuff and Pasquinate with a cheating path. Word to Gertrude, call me agent number 9. I keep my wins simple like father at Christmas time. Let me hear you say. 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 As I double down on this staircase, I'ma protect what's mine like a home base. In that case, I'm the little engine that could, waiting on 53rd Street, cause urban legends are good, and that's the big scoop. Nothing fabricated. If you're gonna get Marty, then freeze frame the visual data. Running into cool jerks like Frankie G, you will face the music more than Sewer King, cause timing is everything. Helget with the stopwatch for a fight. It's not a secret when Gerald when he rides a bike. I'm the bold kid that you want to avoid. I make them say the whole thing, Rhonda Wellington Lloyd, cause I was born to be a geek with a glass of knot. Stay clear of Wittenberg, Tucker out in the spot. So, and you'll be fine. The bullies in due time can catch a dangerous lumber from all of these Mickey K lines. Let me hear you say. 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 I'm a product of my environment. From Jolly Ollie to the Pigeon Man. Pin game special coming straight out of Wanky Land. Better call Simmons for my true crown. I've been on my Robbie Fisher the way I be making moves now. I handle beef like I'm Marty Green. So Susan can keep the money by.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs of all ages, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and it is I, Navy Montel, your frosty bearded Blerdicorn here. Hopefully you guys are taking care of yourselves, do what I tell you to always do on this magnificent Sunday night. Hopefully you're washing these, covering this, staying as far away as you need to, looking out for yourselves, your loved ones, and each other. Thank y'all so much for popping in here. What's going on? How you doing? Room full of blurs up in here. We just came off of another magnificent podcast episode on YouTube. Please go check us out because we talk about comics, anime, all types of amazing things. And the best part about it is we're sexy with it. Hopefully you guys are taking care of yourselves. I know it's been a while and I do apologize for my tardiness. It has been unfortunate. However, that does not take away from the fact that I genuinely miss being here. Really? Really? We're doing the brown chicken, brown cow? That's what we're doing? Oh, Lord have mercy. It gets worse. It gets worse. But I wanted to pop in and say, hey, everybody. Thank y'all so much for continuing to support me. Even though I have been a bit absent, life has been lifing. It does not like people, and it obviously doesn't like me, so it's cool. It is okie dokie. Tonight, I decided I'm going to come back in here for a little while. Now, the last time I streamed, I was doing a bit of a tutorial on Lorcana, and I know some of my friends and people have asked me if I'm going to come back and do it again. And I said, sure. One of them said, can you come back again, but can you explain again? And I said, no problem. Lorcana is, if you're not familiar with it, Lorcana is a trading card game. It is one of the most fun trading card games I've played in a while. And I genuinely enjoy it. It's a game where I can actually have that interactive one-on-one experience with my opponent, or you can play up to 4 people at the same time. I'm not trying to. There we go. All right. If you're popping in here for the first time, hello. My name is Montel. I am a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, podcaster. I'm on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. I like to bring blurs from the dark into the light. I like to bring positivity everywhere I go. I like to support all content creators of Melanation, those who are just trying to do something positive, who bring a positive message, who have a mission statement that is not about getting the bag all the time or trying to be popular or clicks or follows or subs or all of that. Nah, we have plenty of people to do that. I am one of those people that I enjoy just being a part of something larger and bringing a more positive message. And of course, I like playing games. I am more of a tabletop gamer, but I do also play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I also play Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap is still one of my favorite games, and that will never change. And a few other things. But I decided tonight I was going to come in to do Lorcana. Let me go back into here. Now, the great thing about Lorcana is that it is an easy game to learn. It's fun and it's simple. Now, like all trading card games, if you know anyone who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, there is an investment involved in it. A lot of the time, you're going to have to spend money to get some things done. So, because of that, I'm not going to hold you. When you play, there is no online platform to play it per se. There are mods, there are programs out here that you can research. You can test your deck. You can build your deck and you can test your deck. And why do I enjoy Lorcana? Because you're taking Disney characters and turning it into a game where the object, this is where it differentiates as well too. In Lorcana, the object is you're trying to gain lore. Whoever gets to 20 lore points wins. Pretty simple, right? Now, in the other card game, you're trying to destroy your opponent's monsters and you're trying to destroy their life points or their life counter or make sure they're unable to play, which from a competitive standpoint, I can see the appeal, but that gets tiring after a while. And plus, if you're ever anything having to do with the TCG side, more often than not, you'll find yourself having to invest more and more and more in order to become more and more competitive. So, and this is someone who's played Yu-Gi-Oh since 2004, and I stopped being competitive about 3 years ago. I ain't got that kind of money. Who got that kind of money? Do you have that kind of money? Anyone who's got that kind of money to spend and spend and spend and spend, God bless you. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. I ain't got it. I ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me. By the way, can y'all hear me okay? If you're here in the chat, please let me know if you can hear me just fine. Unfortunately, I don't dare take off my audio because I am so afraid that somebody, somewhere, somehow, it's going to get screwed up. So, if there are questions about the game along the way, I am more than happy to address it, more than happy to explain it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the cards themselves, the different types of cards. I am going to also address some of the elements in the game. And there is actually an app called Ink Table where you can take a deck that you've built and you can test it against the AI. I would like to play against other people, but this time of night, people are either watching documentaries, they're doom scrolling, they're grabbing snacks, which is what I should be doing. I should be at a store grabbing snacks. But I made a promise to a wonderful friend of mine that I was going to stream, since it's been forever since I've streamed. But I am rolling up the sleeves and we're going to rock and roll. But I wanted to say thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for the bits. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the continued support. I assure you I'm making an effort to get back to it. And you're going to see more of me. And the only other unfortunate thing is I was supposed to have downloaded South of Midnight. The problem is that my computer does not have enough space for that and still be able to do everything. Because if you've seen me and you know who I am, I do videos, I also do podcasts, and I do editing. So, you know, that requires a decent amount of space. Mind you, this is primarily my camera right here. The phone, the eye, and oh damn, I was looking forward to watching you play. Oh, it's coming. I promise you, it's coming. Having it, I can download it. I just need to clear the space so I can download it. And trust me, when I say I've got the tools to play, I have been dying to use this again. It has been so long since I've used this. The last time I used this, I was playing the game As Dusk Falls, which is another brilliant and incredible game. Shout outs to my friend Black Mermaid who got me this Turtle Beach controller. This is probably the first Turtle Beach controller I've ever owned. I've never had anything like this. Not only is this thing intricate, it's beautiful. And it's scary. So I'm saying to just get the look like, alright, I can do this. I believe in you. Oh, and an update, if you are popping in after a while, I have ventured into voice acting. So I am starting that journey with my friend Roomful of Blurs and also Chris Fury from the captain of the ship of Blur's Eye View. I am part of 2 incredible podcasts and I have my own, the Blerdicorn Convos, where I take I have the opportunity to chat with other creators or maybe just talk about different topics in general. And just go from there. Yeah. So, Lorcana. Let's go to a screen here. There we go. Lorcana is a trading card game. If you ever heard of TCG, it's a trading card game where the object is very, very simple. You are trying to gain lore. Now, what is lore, you ask? If you, let's see this, let's bring this up. Not that. Lord, I don't want to know. All right. This is a character card from Lorcana. I brought up Bolt because Bolt is cool and it's an awesome card. But let's go a little simpler. Let's find a card that does not have all these massive colors. Let's use Trusty. Okay. Trusty is an example of what is known as a character card. If you look, you'll see some different, you see some specific elements. I don't know why. There we go. Okay, I don't know why my camera has me over there. But I'm right here. Oh my gosh, I'm right here. Now, let's try this again. Do, 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 do. All right, there we go. And then we'll just turn it that way. It's so weird. I got to keep readjusting. I actually had to adjust my computer setup here lately. So all right, there we go. All right. Hopefully I am somewhat tolerable. Now, here on the cards you have different elements. You see this symbol up here? This is not only the cost, but that ring right around it is what they call the best way I could think of it. If you've ever played Magic the Gathering, in Magic they have what is known as lore. I mean, lore, but mana. Now, there are certain cards in Magic that you know and designated to be that mana. In Lorcana, all cards in the game that have this specific circle or this ring are called inkable cards. They are simply, when you show them in the gameplay, you have them in your hand, you show your opponent so they can verify that they see that circle, and it goes face down in front of you into what is known as your inkwell. Think of it like this. In Lorcana, you're writing a story. Your deck are the characters, the actions, even the songs and the items and the locations. So you have the who, what, why, where, when, and how. You have a plot, you have characters, you have a story, right? So your deck is basically your story. Your character cards are the characters in the, whether it's the main character, supporting characters, NPCs, however you want to do it. So anything with this specific ring around it is an inkable card. It can go into your inkwell. Now, there are cards that have a different symbol. We'll go with Rhino. You see that right there? You don't see that ring around it. That means this is an uninkable card. But the upside and the downside is that because it is uninkable, you can't put it down there, but it more than likely has an effect that is just absolutely mind-blowing. So, let's go back to Trusty. So you have this cost. You have these two numbers. You have your attack and your defense. We're going to keep it simple. You have your attack and your defense. You have the effect on the card. And you also have this magnificent symbol right here. You see that? That is your lore. All characters in Lorcana have the ability to what is called, to generate lore called questing. And in order to do that, you simply turn the card from vertical to horizontal. Or as if you were Magic, you're tapping it. If you're in Yu-Gi-Oh, you're placing a defense position. Plain simple, right? Okay. So characters are basically your soldiers. They're the ones that do the questing for lore. They can also have battles, which is called challenging. Challenging is something I'd actually have to show you, but it's an interesting dynamic. People think of it as attacking. Well, it's a Disney game. You're not going to do any attacking. You're going to challenge. I challenge you because I'm stronger or how whatever. So you have character cards. Excuse me. Where is I need Okay. You have character cards. You have also what are known as songs. Songs are cards that have the same composition. They have a cost. It shows you if it's inkable or not. and it tells you it's an action, but it also tells you it's a song. Songs and actions are different cards. Actions are cards that you pay for and then you put into play. How do you pay for it? By using the face down cards that you have in your inkwell. They will multiply over the course of the game because every turn you can take a card in your hand that's inkable, put it face down, and now it is a part of your inkwell. So each card is considered one of a cost. Songs are different because songs can be paid for two different ways. You can either use your inkwell to pay for it, or if you have a character on the field that's at least the cost of in the card. And another thing I love about this game is that there's no guesswork in what effects can do and what you can and can't do. It'll tell you on the card. So here it says a character with a cost 2 or more can, that symbol means exert. Remember I remember told you turning it horizontal? That's called exerting. That card can be exerted to sing this song. So characters can sing songs in the game, which I think is a very cool concept. And then when you sing the song, you get the effect. That is what a song is. And actions are pretty much cards that pay for themselves. You can be paid for to use the effect. Excuse me, my goodness. So those are songs. Those are actions. You have items. Items are, as they say, they're items that you pay for and you put on the field, and they're there until you can use them for whatever effect, or they're banished. Things don't get destroyed, they're banished in the game. You have the cost and you have the effect. Like in this one for Amber Coil. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may remove up to 2 damage from a chosen character. Damage in this game is permanent unless it's healed or removed. It doesn't go away after each turn. There are actually some, there we go, there are actually some games where your turn comes around, it'll end up, you will end up removing the damage at the beginning of the turn. In Lorcana, you can't do that. Once it's there unless you heal it or you remove it. I'm trying to keep this as basic as I possibly can. So we've done characters, we've done songs, we've done actions, and we've done items. The last thing that we need to do are finding locations. Locations are cards that are, like I said, they're locations. For instance, we found the 100-Acre Island. This is a card that has a cost of 1. As you see right there, it has a cost of 1. Now you see 2 other numbers. This 5 right here, you see the shield? That's its defense. That's what they call willpower. That's its defense. And item and locations can be challenged. So you challenge it, you max it out, you get it to its peak amount of damage, it goes away, plain and simple. Now, you notice the number over here to the left. That number is the cost in order to move a character from the field to that location. Most locations will give you some sort of an effect if there is a character connected to it, or if it just happens to be there. In the case of 100-Acre Island is during an opponent's turn, whenever a character is banished while at this location, you gain a lore. What you're trying to do in this game is to gain lore as fast as you possibly can, or as strategically as you possibly can. Now, in Lorcana, there are different colors, and each color has its specific effects. There are 6 colors. You have amber, amethyst, emerald, ruby, sapphire, and steel. Right now, what we're looking at are cards that are amber. Now, there are some cards they just introduced recently that are dual ink. In other words, they're 2 different colors, but they can only go into a deck that has those 2 colors into it. For instance, Tramp can only be put into a deck that has amber and emerald in it. It can't have one or the other. It has to be both. So the challenge is being able to put that in there in order to do it. Pretty simple. Depending on the color, let's see. That's amber. Let's pull up amethyst. Amethyst is purple. It does a lot of support, and it can also allow you to gain lore. There are different things that allow you to gain lore. Next is emerald. Emerald is disruption. There are some cards like Shere Khan that have, if you notice, it has a lot of lore. So if he were ever to quest, he could gain 4 lore in one shot. But there's a downside. One, he's uninkable, so you have to use him. Two, his effect. When you play this character, discard your hand. So in order to put him on the field, you got to discard every card you got left in your hand. So there's a strategy behind using him, and I've used him, and the strategy is pretty beast. I really enjoy it. So let's go back here. We got Emerald. Emerald is a lot of disruption. There are some that can help you gain lore. A lot of them can help you prevent you from taking damage. And some can actually burn your opponent for lore themselves. Because remember, 20 may not seem like a lot, but you've got to be able to get that generated and get up to that point before your opponent does. So now you're in a race against time, your opponent, and most often yourself. Because just when you think you got it pegged, your opponent will come through with something. Another thing I love about this game is that they have full art cards called Enchanteds. A lot of these Enchanteds are pretty pricey. Tramp right now is selling for $126. It's very, very pricey. I think the lowest costing Enchanted that I've seen was about maybe $30, but the most I've seen, oof. There we go. That Elsa right there, that Elsa is selling for almost $900. How in the hell? And what's crazy is a good friend of mine who I got into Lorcana, he pulled this card out of a pack. I lost my mind. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This card came out of the first set that came out called First Chapter. So I ain't mad. So if you pull a Enchanted and it's worthwhile, I say hold on to it. Elsa's Ice Palace may be worth a certain amount, but unfortunately it's not indicated. So what's it going for now? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, okay, that came from the Disney promos. Before Lorcana came out, if you ever went to D23, they released literally the first cards for Lorcana. And let me tell you, that is an accurate price tag right there. Some of the promos are worth a great, great deal. The most expensive one right now that's trackable as far as the promos and not affiliated with a set is Let It Go. Let It Go is selling for about $800, which is ridiculous. $800 for a card, but it was one of the cards that came out of the D23 promos. So, if you happen to score that, you in good. And even some of the cards that are not legendary, you have a Japanese Mickey Mouse, which is selling for about $50. And if you have the promo from there, it's about $60. So depending on what you've pulled, you can pull something pretty magnificent. Dragonfire is about $40. I actually have this card. I have this Mirabelle Madrigal. I won that in a set championship tournament. So it's selling for about $34, but I wouldn't sell it. Honestly, I wouldn't be interested in selling it. So, Lorcana itself is a basic game. Now, let's get over to, there are two resources that you can use to learn each of the games. I'm sorry, I was going through the colors. My apologies. We've done, okay, Ruby, and get rid of that. Let's go to Ruby. Ruby is about disruption. It's about burning your opponent and giving them the ability to attack and even kind of jinx them into attacking. Challenging and not being able to gain anything. Now remember, like I said before, effects are written on the cards, so there is no guesswork. That's another thing that this game does that a lot of other games don't do. So that's Ruby. Sapphire is a lot of building up your inkwell. The more cards you have in your inkwell, the more likely you are to be able to pay for the high ticket stuff. And finally, we have steel. Steel is reinforcement. Steel is a lot of protection, bodyguard, which is a protective ability, challenger, which is giving your cards an additional attack power, among other things. So each deck in the material, each deck, excuse me, minimum 60 cards, 2 colors. You cannot go more than 2, but you can do 1 if you want. And you can build just about anything. When I tell you that the possibilities are endless, there's Hercules, there's Big Hero 6, there's Aladdin, there's Lilo and Stitch, you've got The Sword and the Stone, you've got Lion King, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I actually built a Snow White and Seven Dwarfs deck recently. Let me tell you, I really enjoyed it. All right, so this is Dreamborn.inc. This is where you can go to check out cards, even experiment. Shy Guy, hey nephew, what's going on, man? What's up with you? I know it's been a minute, and I'm sorry. I've been slacking. I know it has been a minute, and I do apologize profusely for my insolence. Okay, just checking on my folks. Today has been a very interesting day indeed. To everyone who's hanging out with me today, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I don't expect a lot of people to show up here this time of night. Everyone is like, oh, they're just talking, and they disappear. Ooh, which concert did you go to? I know a friend of mine pulled up a live concert of Creed the other day, a couple days ago. He's like, how's here there? Rap a diamond here, my dear. Have a lamb, have a deer bell, Sam me become you. Magnolia Park. Never heard of the band. Interesting. Did you enjoy yourself? Well, it's alright, and I ain't got no clothes on, 'cause I don't want to be so naked all over this place. Anyway, good to see you, man. All right, so I've introduced you to Dreamborn.inc, where you can research the cards, and this is where you can build your deck. Now, you build your deck. Let me see. Let me go to one of the decks, my decks. I've got 4 decks built in here. One of them I got built is for the brooms and actually the brooms and the wizards or the sorcerers from Fantasia. You can build a deck with just about anything, especially whatever theme you're going for. What I like about Dreamborn is it actually tells you how much it'll cost you to build it, how expensive it is, and how cheap it is. If you go over here on the left side, it tells you the card count, how many cards are uninkable. That is very important, because if you have too many uninkable cards, you cannot build your inkwell in order to spend ink to put cards on the field. So you always want to be careful. But this is where I built the deck. And building a deck is easy. You start off somewhere. And now if you're looking for physical cards, go to your local game store, your LGS or your TGS. Because your LGS is going to have everything that you need, especially if you're interested in this. And ask questions. Ask questions of the people that work there. Hey, do you have anything for Lorcana? I want to learn how to play. Like in my store at Atlantis Games and Comics here in Norfolk, I run the Lorcana League every Saturday. So my 7-hour day turns into a 12-hour day, because I will take the time to teach someone how to play, but I also encourage community. That's something we've gotten away from in a lot of the games nowadays, is community. Everybody's trying so hard to be competitive that they're missing out on the fact that we still need people to play these games. We still need people to come and play. Pokemon, huge community. But a lot of people, some people have their preferences. They want to play the video game, some want to play the physical card game. Same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Some people want to play the physical card game, some want to play Master Duel, which is the official platform for PC and handheld. Magic the Gathering, physical card game, or MTG Arena. So depending on the game, there are two different ways of playing it depending on, but I always encourage everyone to play the game in physical. Why? Because this is how you're able to be social. You're able to make friends and make new acquaintances. And even if you're smart, you'll even set up maybe future interactions with other people. Making friends is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. I encourage it. So this is one of the decks that I built. I actually have this deck over on the other app it's called Inktable. Inktable, they did have it was an unofficial platform called Pixelborn before Disney got a burr up there behind and they decided to tell them send a cease and desist. But it was fantastic because most people want to build the decks, but they don't have the place to play test them. Inktable is incredible because not only can you do it for Lorcana, I believe you can do it for Magic, for One Piece, for Digimon, and the Union Arena, I believe. Don't quote me, I believe so. So over here, you can create a deck. You can also see these decks right here. These are all the official structure decks that are currently out, that are currently for sale. Haha! VS Life, thank you for the bits. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you. What's going on? How are you? Thank you for popping up in here. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for y'all for being patient with me. I know this may not be what some people are looking for, and this may not be what people are interested in, but honestly, I just enjoy being able to talk about something that I'm passionate about. Now, if it were Yu-Gi-Oh, that would definitely be something y'all would watch me get my butt kicked. And I'm probably going to get my booty kicked here tonight. But I enjoy Lorcana because I feel like gaming communities are dwindling. It's always a struggle to bring people out of their homes, touch grass, get in the car, come to the store and play. Which is what I highly encourage. Because staying home after a while, it gets a little bit humdrum. It gets boring and dull because you can only play so many games and read so many comic books and watch so much anime. Yeah, that's a lie. I could watch it all. I could do it all. But I need that social interaction. I need that interactivity with other people because I like being able to make friends. I like being able to connect with different people. Maybe go to a tournament. Maybe go to a community event. Maybe go to some sort of a league. Maybe a convention. Anything that is conducive. Oh my gosh. You're throwing these bits over here, VS Life. What's up? I'm feeling very blessed and highly favored at the moment, writing a movie script and reading up on some things and making. Oh, okay. All right. I see you over there doing the thing. Thank you so much for the bits. And I don't know what you're writing up, but I'm glad that you are blessed and highly favored. In this crazy day and age, you want to know that you are okay and your people are okay. There we go. Let me scoot over this way and I'll move this over a little bit. There we go. We're missing out on community. We're missing out on that camaraderie because everybody, for some reason or another, they tend to be scared to interact and connect with other people. And I do understand that concern, especially if you have some sort of phobia or you've had some sort of trauma or something like that. But I'm sorry to get off on that. Reminds me, are you open to me sending a link to my most recent short film? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, if you're following me on Instagram, just drop it there. That's gonna be your best bet. Navy Montel. Drop it there in Instagram and then I'll take a look at it. I always believe in people getting together and making something great happen. You never know whose life you can affect. You never know who can be a part of something that you are looking forward to being a part of. You never know whose life you can save by just simply interacting and connecting with them. And I highly encourage this. 1000% I encourage this. Oh, shoot. Doggone it, Shorty. Gee whiz. y'all, let me break something down to y'all. If your name is separate from your social media, you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. I cannot see. I feel stupid sometimes because I like, and my mind's going. I should know this person. I know this person. I don't recognize the name, but I know this person. No, it's okay. But see, that's what it's all about: communication and conveyance of a message. See how that works? Ah, there we go. Yeah. Messages, communication. Yeah. But yeah, send me the link through my IG. I would love to take a look at it. All right. So, from what I've shown you for Lorcana, Ken, hey love, what's going on, man? Let me tell you, one of my longtime friends and supporters. What's going on with you, sweetie? I didn't see you kick the door in, so I think you probably just slipped into the shadows. But it's fine. It's perfectly fine. What's going on? So, for those who watched me so far when it comes to Lorcana, if you have any questions while I'm doing this, definitely check it out. I'm going to walk you through it as much as I can and explain certain things. And I'm going to hopefully the AI doesn't beat me up too bad. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. Oh, gosh. Here we go. Here we go. When in doubt, watch Ken kick it out. Just blam. All right. So, over here, these are the decks that I've built. So, tonight I'm going to use my Sorcerers and Brooms, or as they call it, Sor Broom. Down here are all the official starter decks that have been released from the first set. Hey, love. Good to see you. Thank you for popping up in here. So these are all the official structure decks that have been released from much better. Thank you. From the first set all the way to current. Unfortunately, I only let's see. That is first chapter. Rise of the Floodborn, Into the Inklings, Ursula's Saga, Ursula's Return, excuse me, Shimmering Skies, Azurite Sea, and Arcasia's Island. I'm getting better with reading acronyms. But so tonight I'm going to use my you know what? No, I don't want to do that. Let's use so I'm running my Amethyst Steel brooms. So let's start from the beginning. Let's use the Sapphire Steel. No, you know what? Let's use Emerald Ruby. The deck, these are all the characters in the deck. As you can see, the cards look amazing. Absolutely amazing. Everyone has their own effects. They have a certain amount of lore that they can quest for, and it can be pretty challenging. You have items and you have actions, and you also have songs. These two sets, Rise of the Floodborn and Into the Inklings, came out without Lorcana. Oh, what is this? New way to play Lorcana? No, this has actually been a way that you can test your deck that I discovered thanks to a good friend of mine called Inktable. You can go to dreamborn.ink, build a deck, and import it over to Inktable. So let's see. Let's make this my player 2. Keep it at basic. Keep it default. I ain't trying to do no more than that. And then let's do a random start. Let's see how it goes. Okay. So right now, when you start off, you draw your 7 cards. Now you can have what is known as mulligan. Plain and simple. You discard the cards that you don't want, put them on the bottom of the deck, and you draw the same number off of the top that you got rid of. So, in the beginning, the one thing you want to do is to minimize the amount of expensive cards. The most expensive card I have right now is Seeking the Half Crown, and it's actually the only card that is not inkable. So, White Rose, Maleficence. I think I'll only keep one Maleficent. And I got a broom. And I have a bosses on a roll. So let's get rid of 3 of these. Okay, I have 2 brooms. That's workable. That is very workable. The game itself is not bad at all. All right, so the first thing you do is, as a first player, you cannot draw a card. Hold on, let me see something here. All right, there we go. So as a first player, you cannot draw a card, but you can ink a card. So you indicate that you're going to ink a card. All the cards here in my hand are inkable. So I need to decide what cards I'm going to put in my inkwell first. So I'm going to go ahead and ink the bosses on a roll. So that gives me 1 ink. This is the inkwell. Now you notice, once I selected the card, it goes into the inkwell face down. All cards in the inkwell, unless there's an effect that allows you to select a card or to look at a card in the inkwell, they stay face down. They serve no other purpose. That is all they do. And since I don't have anything that I can call or I can summon, I'm going to pass. Now it's my opponent's turn. He's going to repeat the same thing. He put his ink down and he pulled out a Duke of Wesselton. Duke is a 1-drop with 2 attack, 2 strength and 2 willpower that can generate 1 lore. So I just drew. Ooh, it's getting worse. Let's see. I would rather gain lore than draw a card. So now I can play a card now if I want. I would prefer to put brooms out there, but I don't have enough, so I need to at least put something on the field. So let's go ahead and play. I'm going to put one of the yin sids on the field. I paid 2. Now, how you indicate how you're paying with your ink is up to you. Some people like to turn it horizontal, which is called tapping or exerting. Some people like to have a pile and say, okay, I'm going to pay it by remove. However you want to do it. But here, the AI has already got its own idea. Let me see. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. There we go. Everybody see it okay? Good. Now I'm going to pass. All cards, all characters, when they're brought out, have a summoning sickness, which is called drying. So when they're drying, they have to be on the field for 1 turn before they can do anything, unless they have an effect called Rush. If you have a card that says Rush on it, it can challenge another character. I get the thumbs up. Yay! All right, so is anything... Okay, so let's ink a card. It's always recommended to ink a card before you go do anything else. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink Merlin. And I'm going to finally play a broom. So I'm going to play a card. I could play any of these, but I want to maximize what I can do. So it's not a location. So let's go ahead and bring out that magic broom. Which character give resist? Resist means whatever damage they have, they resist that amount. So in the case, resist +1 means they take 1 less damage in a challenge. So I'm going to give it to Yin Sid. And I can either... Okay, so if I challenge, I'll take 1 damage. Actually, no, I'll only take 1 damage because I have resist. So it's cool. Let's go ahead and quest because I need to gain a lore. So questing is simply picking a card, turning it horizontally, which is called exerting, and I automatically gain that lore. Simple. And this is how it goes back and forth. Now, the fun part of this, besides the basic play, is the strategizing. You're not limited by what you can build. Ah, come on. Really? I knew you were going to pull that stunt. You jerk. Alright. let's ink a card. I don't want. Okay, it's just literally making me put something back, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and do. Let's do white rose. So it gives me 4. All right. So what do I want to play? You know what? Let's put it back out there. Since you want to play with me, I'm gonna give it that, and I'm going to challenge. Yen Sid is going to challenge Duke of Wesselton. I hit him for 1. He hits me for 1. We now have damage on us. You see the red dots, the red numbers? That means we have damage. Damage cannot disappear unless it is removed or healed. Those are the only 2 ways. Or it's moved. Alright, so I'll pass because there's not much else I can do at this point. So he gains a lore. He decided to take the low road. And he brings out Pongo. Pongo is evasive, which means I can't challenge him unless I have evasive characters. What do I want to ink? Oof. The hard part is always choosing what to use in your inkwell. I have 5. Okay. So let's ink a card. Let's go ahead. I'm going against my better judgment. I'm going to ink Chifu. I'm going to play one of the brooms, and I'm going to play another Yen Sid. Now the effects, I don't want to banish it just yet. I want to use Yen Sid first to draw a card. Okay. Do I want to banish it? No, I don't want to banish it. And the reason why I'm not banishing it. Hey, Miss Kitty. Hello, sweetie. How are you? I don't care how late it is. I thank you for coming in here. What's going on with you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in here, hanging out. What is up? What is up? You over here on the other sides and stuff and blah, blah. I appreciate that. I know there's not too many people on YouTube, but I thank y'all for coming through here anyway and checking me out because one day I want to be fancy and have music playing in the background. I'm not relaxing a bit before bed. That'll probably be me. So we're going to quest. Yen Sid is going to quest for 3. And I think I'm going to go ahead and challenge. Yeah, I'm going to challenge. Challenging means I now have to get stuff off of the field from them. So I'm going to have. You know what? No, I'm not. Let's cancel that. And we're going to. Let's go ahead and pass. I'm taking a chance, but I feel like I can get ahead of the game here. No pun intended. Ah, you took out my other Yen Sid. You jerk. I hope your mama grows a hemorrhoid. No! Freaking meatball. Alright. Let's do. I'm gonna keep the Yen Sid. I'm going to ink Finders Keepers. Now, let me play. I have 6, so I can play 2, 3 drop cards. So the first one I'm going to play. Let's go ahead and play Madam Mim. Let's return this one for now. Now, I have 6 left, so that's fine. So I'm going to play another broom. And I'm going to play Yen Sid. Let's do Yen Sid. We'll draw the card. And I'm not going to use that effect because I don't want to get rid of the broom. Hey, Navy, I'm fading, so I'm going to hit the sack. I learned a little bit, though. All right, sweetheart. Thank you for coming through as I kept my promise. Kept my promise. Thank you so much, love. Thank you for tonight. If you guys want to know what we are doing, Room Full of Blurs, Lady Mandalore, she has a podcast on her channel, Room Full of Blurs, and it is the comic book club where she and we talk independent black comics, all types of love for anything geek and nerd, and we're currently reading the comic called Bitterroot, which is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So go check it out. And we're also part of the Blur's Eye View crew. Blur's Eye View is an amazing podcast of 9 collective minds that are still trying to figure out our lives. And we talk about everything geek and nerd, from movies to comics to anime. We have guests on. We have a blast. Definitely want to go check out either both. You should check out both of them. Don't worry about either or. Check out both of them. All right, so do I quest? I'm behind. Oh goodness, if I do, I may end up losing that. Let's cancel that. Now let's pass. I'll be able to catch up. I'll be able to catch up without a problem. Decided to quest. He's going to pay. He's got 6. Really? But you know what? You did me a favor, homie. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. So that is a total of 5. Okay. So I'm going to ink. Actually, you know what? No, we're not going to ink anything. Because even if it's 7, it doesn't really do me any good. So, let's go ahead and play a card. Yen Sid. Draw a card. Okay. I'm not going to banish it. But I am going to play the Sorcerer's Tower. And let's move you to there. We're going to move you to there. And I have 1 left. I can't spend anything. So I'm going to quest for 7. And I'm going to quest again. For 9. And we'll quest one more time for 11. So while they're there, they actually gain lore. So if you're wondering why I'm turning them sideways, it's called questing. So if I turn it sideways, of course I knew you were going to come after me. And you're going to challenge me again. I need the other Mickey. Where is the other Mickey when I need it? Son of a gun. Let's see. Which one? Let's go ahead and ink this one. No, we're not going to ink anything. I'm not going to ink anything. Let's just play. We're going to play another one. I could do that. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this to there. I'm going to move that broom to that location. Now, I'm going to quest again. But here's the great part. I can quest with you and get 14. I'm going to quest one more time for you and get 17. I am almost there. And I am going to, I don't need to move. I'm going to pass. Now, let's see what my opponent's going to do. Quest. Challenge. Ah, that's the downside, unfortunately. You're a little late, aren't you? Gee, thanks. Freaking nerd. Wow. I don't want to ink the Mickey. So let's play that Mickey and let us. Challenging will do me no good because they only got one on there. So I'm going to quest. And this right here wins the game. Oh, let's go! Yeah! And that is Lorcana. Plain and simple, the goal is to get to 20 lore before your opponent using the deck that you built. Now, as you can see, I only use what ink that I had. I never use these cards for any reason other than as currency to pay for my characters, actions, songs, locations, and items. As long as the deck is a minimum of 60 cards, you can build a deck. I've already built the Brooms. I've built Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, which is surprisingly balanced and really good. I built a deck based around Mufasa. I have a Madrigal's deck from Encanto, which is a lot of fun. I have a Ruby Emerald deck that's designed to do two things: gain lore for me and steal lore or make my opponent lose lore on their count. There's so many different strategies with Lorcana. Now, with every game that's out here that's the TCG that's the tabletop based game, there is a huge competitive element with it. And mind you, I can be just as competitive as anybody. I don't have a problem with that at all. My biggest issue is if somebody decides that they are more concerned because you got them out there. You got I call them scissors because they call themselves trying to cut people. And they're out here, they come to the tournaments and they spend all of this money on the most expensive cards to make the most ridiculous decks, but the element that's missing is fun. And I say that because I have seen people come to these events that will play and enjoy themselves because they want to be able to have opportunity to play somebody else. Now, the person from the other side is an asshole, a serious asshole. So their job is going to be to take away the fun element of the game. Let me take these off. Their mission is to take away the fun element of the game entirely. So much so that I've seen people who just start quit. I've seen people who have enjoyed the game and have been playing with some other incredible people and they've made it fun. They've turned around and they've made it so miserable and so unappealing that they don't want to touch another deck, another card. And I've seen it with each game: Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana, One Piece, Digimon, Union Arena. What other game? Card Fight Vanguard. I've seen people do this. And while I do understand being competitive maybe in your spirit, you're going to have to dial it down a little bit because you're not going to have anybody to play if you keep being that troll across the table. And for those of y'all who are competitive and you say, well, I don't give a damn, I'm going to play however and play, understand that once upon a time you were that noob. You were that beginner who was excited about getting that Blue Eyes White Dragon card, or getting that Dark Magician, or getting that Eevee, or in this case, picking up a deck of Lorcana, and you just want to see how the game is played, how it feels, and you want to make friends, and you want to be, you want to be social. The social element tends to go away when people stop remembering it. In any community, any fandom, any grouping of passionate people, it's always important to remember that you are not a monolith. You are not by yourself in how you feel, but you cannot alienate anybody else who's trying to be a part of it. Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. Much more natural. Ah, there we go. Okay, I don't look as golden and bright. I'm already light skinned as hell. There's nothing I can do about that. um, but I've been running tabletop gaming for years at conventions and locally. I've judged Yu-Gi-Oh across the country from California to Pennsylvania, as far north as Detroit, as far south as Georgia. And I've done different states in between. And one of the things that I've always noticed, especially, I'll use Yu-Gi-Oh as an example. One of the things I've always noticed is that it's a cornucopia of personalities. You've got different people coming to play with their favorite decks, or they're coming because they want to win. That's all they care about. That's all that matters to them. They want to win. Well, the problem with that is you have to remember that the person across from you may not have the same goal. So this is where you have to start being social. This is where you have to start being polite and nice and friendly. I know those are lost concepts to a lot of people. I know being respectful to someone that you've never met may seem a bit hard, but you better fucking get used to it, because this is how it works. You can't be mad that there's nobody at a tournament, and yet a bunch of you scissors out here are just trying to cut up anyone who gets in your way, because you ain't got nothing else better to do. Your social skills are trash. They're hot garbage. And you know this, but you still keep doing the same stupid shit. And you wonder why people get frustrated. I ain't gonna lie, at one point I wanted to quit Yu-Gi-Oh entirely because the competitive field was so toxic. Because if you know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, the most meta deck wins the most. And the majority of the field of duelists are all going to run the same deck or a variant of that deck and try to navigate it so they can get to the tip top of columns of a champion. That's great. What are you contributing otherwise? We got plenty of assholes around. Hell, look at the government. Yeah, I said what I said. I said what I said. I ain't taking it back. But you cannot miss out on the opportunity to be a positive influence on someone. Someone out there someone looks up to you, they admire you, they want to emulate you, they want to do so many different things, and yet you don't even realize that you're being watched. Most of the time people walk around not realizing that they're being watched. They're seen. Your existence is acknowledged. Congratulations. Someone sees you. What are you going to do with that information? Nothing. Why? Because inherently you have some people who don't know what it means to be nice, to be polite, to be cordial, to be accepting, to be open. And there are some people who have made it so damn difficult to do that they have just driven any semblance of friendliness out of people. And it's not fair and it's not right. So when I was introduced to Lorcana, at that point, I was rather fed up with the Yu-Gi-Oh competitive, the Yu-Gi-Oh competitive. I don't want to say cycle, but the field, the community, and it had gotten to a point where I had my favorite decks, and my decks would get demolished. And it wouldn't even, and the person who I'm playing against has no respect for what I'm doing. They only have one goal: to steamroll over me. Doesn't matter how much I'm polite. Doesn't matter how nice I am. None of that really matters. And that's the part that sucks because you're missing out on something amazing if you are not being kind enough to someone to understand. There we go. To understand that they're not on the same level as you. They don't have the same desire as you. They don't have the same drive and determination to be champion level. And what's funny is I know people that are champions in Yu-Gi-Oh, in Magic. Um, I've known people who compete on a high level in games like One Piece, Lorcana, and things like that. And the one thing that's clear is that winning is fine, but it's lonely. It is absolutely lonely, especially if you have alienated every single supporter, friend, uh, comrade, what have you, because you're laser focused on getting that championship. Enjoy that championship, because if you had to run people over, toss people to the side, disrespect people, insult people, and just make them feel less than significant in your journey to get there, don't be surprised when you finally get that title. What's up, Cinder? What's going on? How you doing? Thank you for popping up in here. It means nothing if you have gone through all of that and you turn around when you're on the dais and you've gotten that championship and you're holding it in your hands and you're happy to get it, and you turn around to say, hey, look what I got, and there's no one around. You have burned every bridge, you have shut down every door, you have closed off every avenue, and you've destroyed every relationship because you want to be a winner. The true winners in all of these are people who continue to enjoy these games, who love them, who like to keep up, who like to be competitive with their friends on a friendly level, not trying to cut someone short, not trying to slit throats because you have to be the biggest and the baddest. No. No. Now, I will admit at one point I did have a drive to see how far I could go. And the last time I was competitive, I mean, head down, play testing, getting the certain cards, that type of deal, 2006, I believe. No, it's 2005. 2005, I was still in the Navy, and I was stationed in Honolulu, in Pearl Harbor. And there was a store downtown Waikiki called Planet Hawaii. That was my go-to spot. And I would go there every weekend that I could, and I would play in the tournaments. I'd get demolished, totally destroyed. However, the young kids that I was playing were so respectful and so nice, even gave me pointers, even made suggestions for me. And it was the friendliest environment I had ever been in as far as this game went. And I felt like, wow, everybody I've played against, even though I haven't won, has been really gracious. And I appreciate that. And I made it up in my mind that, yeah, I'm going to be competitive, but I'm still going to show sportsmanship. I'm going to either give them dap, or I'm going to shake their hand and say, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for the game. I appreciate it. And go on from there, and everything will be groovy, right? Wrong. I get back to the mainland, San Diego, California. And every asshole known to man who thought that they were the hottest thing smoking made it painful. Made it painful, made it difficult. Made it so that I wanted to just get rid of every single card I owned and never look back. I did not want to be a part of it. Oh, my glasses are getting worse. Sorry, guys. And it was because of some friends of mine that I had come to know and to genuinely appreciate, who helped me get that. Lizzie! Hey, Lizzie, what's going on, love? How are you, sweetie? Good to see you. Oh my gosh, yes, I am up later than usual, but these are my normal hours, y'all. I will usually be up either watching true crime, anime, or something to that effect. And I had to thank him to this very day. I keep up with most of them. And being I was the oldest cat in the group, they've gone on to their lives with careers and families and things like that. Been cooking, talking to my friend Obsidian like goofballs we are. Good. Good, 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 good. I'm glad. I'm glad. What's on the menu? Posture check. Yes, ma'am. Hydrate. Yes, ma'am. Stretch. Okay. Eh. Don't forget the eh. Or you could just eh. Or maybe I could eh. Or I could possibly eh. I don't know. um, but thanks to them, I didn't lose the childlike energy and motivation to play and enjoy myself. I didn't lose that. And I always encourage people, don't lose that. My goodness, please don't lose that. There we go. Please don't lose that spark and that charm. Because we have too many adults, not enough kids. We have too many people who want to be adults and want to be grown. I'm going to be grown. Homemade turkey meatballs and pasta with a ooh. That does sound good. That sounds amazing. When I'm done streaming tonight, I'm going to have one of my favorite snack time lunches. I'm going to have me a smoked turkey and Havarti sandwich. What kind of chili though? That's always a good question. I see everyone's over here cooking. I should have went to the store earlier, but I got so caught up in planning for next year's Blerdicorn and being on the podcast Room Full of Blerds. Please go check it out and support it. Fancy with what? How am I fancy? Havarti cheese is probably the one is one of the creamiest cheeses around because I will normally eat Colby Jack, but Colby Jack does not have a decent shelf life. Let's break that down. Colby Jack does not have the greatest shelf life. If you don't eat it within a certain amount of time, it becomes linoleum. And I don't know about anyone else, not a fan of linoleum. Not a fan. Not at all. No, it's just called working with what I have. With prices going down, way prices are with everything, I want to make sure that I can survive and still be able to afford food. I'm still nervous to even thinking of applying to that con since I done drive. Why not? Blerdicorn? Come on. This year we had a blast. Let me tell you, Lizzie. I know you cooking and everything else, but you can agree with this sentiment. Blerdicorn was everything. This year was our biggest year. We have 14,000 attendees. And imagine 3.5 days. 3.5 days from Thursday to Sunday of nothing but love, camaraderie, fun, laughter, dancing, music, panels, workshops, gaming, concerts. It was a blast. But since I don't drive, I can't think of how I'd get my stuff up there and stuff. Okay, so where are you coming from, Cinder? Depending on where you're coming from, there's always a solution somewhere. Was more lit, more me because I got to do more things. Wait a second. Okay, y'all know I'm bad when it comes to these names here. Oh, never mind. It just clicked. Never mind. Okay, so here's the deal. Next year, you can carpool with me. Just share in the costs and we'll figure out everything else along the way. We've got a year to figure it out. If you want to go, we can go. I'm trying to give. Well, then you know what? I'll be working tomorrow night. So if you don't come up there, I'm telling you, I'm there. I'm not going anywhere. But Blerdicorn was incredible. And I tell anyone that has heard about it, don't listen to what people are saying online that have never gone. Go. This goes back to what I was talking about with being social and experiencing things and meeting people and being, you know, being cordial and being a part of something. You won't know if you'll like it if you don't give it a try. I've seen so many people say, no, I can never do this. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about things that are dangerous. I'm talking about something as simple as going to a gathering, going to a meetup, going to a convention. Oh, believe me, Lizzie, she will. She just got to get her butt up to my job. And there are some people who are so quick to believe the words that you see online on Facebook groups, which I don't like. I am not a fan of Facebook groups. Whoever thought of this grows hemorrhoids every day of their lives because they are obviously in pain. It's my first time cosplaying at a con this year. It'll be fun. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I want to know what you're going to do. I want to know what you're going to do for your first time cosplay. I want to see it. So you do me a favor, you take a picture of it and you send it to me because I want to see it, okay? It gives you 9,000 XP points. Oh my gosh. Cinder is a longtime friend of mine. Trust me, she knows the deal. We've known each other for a lot of years, and I've seen my friends go through a lot of things, and I try to be there for folks. I always encourage going to social gatherings. The fear it's valid, but it shouldn't blind you or prevent you from experiencing something new. I tell anyone, every opportunity you get, if you can go to a convention, a meetup, a gathering, a festival, anything like that, if you have that opportunity to do it, then please do it. Please do it. It can't do anything but benefit you from here on. Do it. Just do it. Lorcana has afforded me so many amazing things, and you had that banter. Let's change up here a little bit. Let's go back to... There we go. Y'all get to see my ugly face. Jasmine in the red outfit from Aladdin and Boa Hancock. Ooh, okay. Okay, shorty. Definitely. I need to see this. I need to see this. And we'll get back to Lorcana here, maybe. But I always encourage everyone to get into a social scene somewhere, especially conventions. Now, Blerdicorn for the longest time got such a bad rep, and the rep did not come from people who went. It came from people who didn't. It came from people who listened to what other people said about what someone else said, about what someone else said, about what someone else said. And then when you hear about why they don't go, it kind of makes you laugh, but it makes you shake your head. You mean you were willing to take the word of someone who has never set foot anywhere near the convention, has not seen their badge, has not talked to their person there, but you're giving excuses why you don't go. You'll say, well, it's work. There are people who go to the con that work. Well, I got school. There are people who go to the con that go to school. I know people who will bring their homework to the con and work a few hours out of each day on their homework so that they can get down into the lobby of either hotel and have a blast. If you really want to make it happen, you'll make it happen. Excuses are like assholes. Everybody has one. But if you get rid of the excuse, you get rid of the stink of the excuse, and you actually take the time to experience it, I guarantee you will have such an amazing experience. You can validate what someone else says that's gone to the convention. You may even be that voice of reason or that subject matter expert. I've been a part of the staff for Blerdicorn since 2017. And let me tell you, it has been a labor of love. I have worked and busted my ass for years. Years. And I've never regretted a single moment. Has it been without its problems? No. I have had to deal with some serious things. And as someone who's attended conventions but has never worked it, I learned a lot. I learned a great deal from my experience. And I would never, ever, I never regret it. I'm wiser now about the intricacies and inner workings and the behind the scenes craft of putting on, setting up, moving along, and running a convention than I did before. And to everyone who's been doing it for years, thank you for your service. God bless. I'm only been doing this for about 8 years. So I'm still a fledgling in a lot of ways, but I can definitely say I've learned a lot. I've been able to help curate a safe space in the convention, a quiet space, if you will, where people can get away from the noise and the craziness. Sit down, maybe pick up their phone for a second, put it back down, and go, "Ooh, what games they got?" And sit down and play a tabletop game, or come over and play Dungeons and Dragons, or be a part of a tournament, or just chit chat, converse. I'm slowly trying to do more artist alleys. They are just getting harder and harder to get since there are so many amazing. And you know what? I understand that. There are a lot of amazing artists, but guess what? They are not the only amazing artists. I've seen your work. Hold on. Where is it? I have a little box that I keep on my shelf. In this box is the number one lanyard that I wear to all of my conventions. It is chain link metal. It is red, white, and blue. And I have had this going on, wow, going on 13 years. 13 years I've had this. Now, what have I kept this in? This incredible box. This box was created by Cinder Witch VT. She's the one, this is one of her first creations. And I have held on to this dearly. And it is very well done, very well crafted, even in its beginning stages. Very well done, signed and everything. And I love this. This bad boy has been one of my favorite things to hold on to, and I treasure this. You hush. Take the damn flowers, woman. Take the damn flowers. Navy sent you some stuff in DM. It's for Otaku Noir's new. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, Lizzie. Okay. Okay. Straight. All right. Okay. All right. I ain't mad at you. Let's go. I ain't mad at you. Okay. Those are amazing. But that's what I'm talking about. Do not be afraid of your creativity. Do not be afraid to step into your comfort zone. Don't worry about people approving what you do. Well, you're going to have to tell me that one day, and I would love to find out about it. But don't send it to me tonight. Because once I get off of here, I'm going to make a sandwich. I'm going to get cross-eyed in my lazy boy. Oh, gosh. But I always encourage people just to step outside of your comfort zone and try something different. Try something that you've always wanted to do, but you've let people talk you out of it. Or you let someone else's fears or someone else's apprehension be the reason why you don't do it. Don't let what someone else decide to do prevent you from having an experience. Nothing beats a failure but a try. But so if you don't give it a shot, how are you going to know if you like it or you don't? I know there's certain things in my life that I do like, but I was willing to try to see if they fit me. And there's some things I know I don't like because I've had experiences with them. Life is the greatest teacher, if not really imperfect. But if you're willing to take a chance, if you're willing to take a step in a specific direction to experience something, you won't know if you'll like it until you do. If I could think of everything that I love now, most of it I could think back to when I first started loving it. I know I've jumped from topic to topic, but I say all that to get back here to say this. Lorcana is one of those games that has a large social aspect to it. The online will come, the online will be the platform. I'm sure it's being developed, I'm sure it's being perfected, and it's going to be put out there, and everybody's going to enjoy themselves. But I am fine with it taking however long it needs. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that, y'all. Had a friend of mine who's kind of going through something, so I may have to go play counselor. But I always encourage people to just take a chance. Take a chance. Enjoy what life has to offer. Take the opportunity to be social, to meet new people, to go to different places, and just enjoy what's out there. I'm tired of people being gloomy. I'm tired of people being depressed and frustrated and mad. I see it all the time and it drives me up the wall. There's so many beautiful things out here that you can experience life and enjoy yourself. We get so caught up in ourselves and our depressive state that we'll end up missing out on the flowers and on the ground and the clouds in the sky and the beautiful sun just shining on our skin, and maybe taking a walk or taking a drive or going to the park, catching a movie, go to get ice cream or froyo, depending on what you want. Go get that favorite snack, and or maybe meet up with a friend you haven't seen in a while. Plan that trip to a convention. Make sure you get in your room and everything is set. Look at the flights and see where you want to fly to. Plan a trip, plan a cruise, do something other than sitting in yourself and being depressed. There is no point, because the minute that you decide that you don't want to live, you are losing. You are losing and you're missing out on the joys that life has to offer. Big time. Missing out on it big time. And I don't want to see anybody miss out on opportunities. I don't want to see anybody miss out on life. I don't want to see anyone not giving themselves a chance to enjoy, to smile, to laugh, and just to have fun. You know, I don't want to see people. I don't want to see people missing out on that. But some people want to stay that way. Then get away from them. Get away from people who want to be mopey and who want to complain about everything. Now, I understand being depressed as a mental condition. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who do it just so that they can uh um curry pity, so someone can feel sorry for them. Oh, woe is me. Okay, well, let's get no. If you are willingly doing that, you need to check yourself out. if you are not doing that, you're going through something, please get the help that you need. Please take care of yourself. There's only one of you, and I would love to know that everyone is A-okay. Okay? Okay. Now, thank y'all for my little tutorial for Lorcana. If you really want to learn how to play this game, the app is incredible. If you want to try it out, I definitely recommend downloading Dreamborn. Go to the websites dreamborn.inc and Ink Table. If you're not sure, you don't remember, you can message me on Instagram. You can reach out to me if you have my phone number. You can reach out to me through Facebook Messenger, however you want. I would love to be able to help people. I want to be more social with Lorcana. I want to see people get out. I want to see people go to their local game stores and be part of the communities and make new friends. I want to see people go to conventions and their cosplays or their favorite shirts and have a good time. Yes, thank you for that. The Gateway box is awesome too if you really want to try it physically. The Gateway comes with this pre-built decks. It comes with a game board that has set it up so you can see how the game is set up field-wise, where the cards would go, how you would count your lore, and everything. And it's inexpensive. It's about $30. The last time I saw it was about $30. We never keep them in the store. We always sell out of them, but they're well worth it. I would definitely recommend it if you want to give the game a shot. It's the most inexpensive way to learn how to play the game, or go to your local store and say, hey, I'd like to learn how to play Lorcana, or anything like that. Get to living and getting enjoying life. Okay? Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get back more on it, so everything goes like I hope. Then I'll be able to do it next week. Well, I'm waiting for you to come to the store so we can play again. But thank y'all so much. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the love. Shorty, thank you so much for the bits. You are the bit champion, love. Thank you so much for that. Lizzie and Parker and Ken and everyone else who come through here. I know Spoogie, you were in here too. And everyone who decided to pop through and say hey to this frosty old bearded old man. So, in the meantime and in between time, as I tell all of you beautiful, sexy people to do, please continue to do this for me and all of the nerds and blurs out here, for all the Lorcana players, for all the duelists, for all the convention goers, the attendees, and everything else, and even your future friends, future mates, and future companions. Stay nerdy, stay geeky, and always stay sexy. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.
Let me hear you say. 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 As I double down on this staircase, I'ma protect what's mine like a home base. In that case, I'm the little engine that could, waiting on 53rd Street, cause urban legends are good, and that's the big scoop. Nothing fabricated. If you're gonna get Marty, then freeze frame the visual data. Running into cool jerks like Frankie G, you will face the music more than Stuart King, cause timing is everything. Hogan with the stopwatch for a fight. It's not a secret when Gerald, when he rides a bike. I'm the bold kid that you want to avoid. I make them say the whole thing, Rhonda Wellington Lloyd, cause I was born to be a geek with a glass of nut. Stay clear of Wittenberg, Tucker out in the spot. So, and you'll be fine. The bullies in due time can catch a dangerous lumber from all of these Mickey K lines.